Hi, I'm doing a video for Affinity Designer 2.0 on the Mac Sonoma using the Epson F570. So there's been some changes, and this is why I'm redoing the video. So the first thing we're going to do is set up our settings, make sure they're correct. So we're going to go to Affinity, Settings, and General. And this is what I have: reopen document on startup, save thumbnails with documents, enable save over imported PSD files, import PSD text as text rather than bitmap, copy items as SVG, prefer to keep selection after delete, and import PSD smart objects where possible. Now color, this is what you want to make sure you have. And these are the proper settings. If you have anything different, then change it. So the first one's going to be the RGB color profile, which is the sRGB. IEC 61966-21. The 32-bit color is going to be the same. The CMYK color profile is going to be the US web coded. The grayscale color profile will be grayscale D50. The lab color profile is CIE lab D50. And your rendering intent will always be relative colorimetric. Always have black point compensation checked. Warn when assigning working profile to unprofiled files. And then the last thing I have is perform OCIO conversion based on file name and warn when converting on load. That's what I keep it as. And you can always go back on this video and look at it again. Performance, this is what I have. Some people may not have 32 megs of RAM. I do. I keep it by linear best quality, dither gradients, 300 seconds, retina rendering, automatic best, and my user interface, I like it light. You can change that if you wish. Make it darker. See, I don't like black. You see on the left it's turning, I have to have it light. And you can mess around with this, but I do have it on light. People ask me why theirs is dark. That's because I like light. Your icon style is color. Your tooltip delay, I don't mess with that. These are all the different settings. I don't play with those unless somebody tells me. And you go down and that's what I have. I've also changed this to inches. Sometimes you'll see it as something else. I keep that as inches. And I don't really do anything else here. I don't do anything with shortcuts or assistant. I have her enabled. I just keep everything the same. Link services, if you have one, you can link it. Software update. I don't know where it just went. Maybe it's down there. And miscellaneous, nothing. So then I'm going to hit close. And what I'm going to do is go to File, New. We're not opening. The only time you open is when you have saved an Affinity file. In other words, you did a project and you save it in the Affinity format, then you open it. Otherwise, you go to New. So here are your papers. You can see the different types and sizes. Letter, legal, ledger, B3, and there's also press ready, photos, different sizes all the way down here for iPads. And then here are the big sizes, 12 by 9, 18 by 12, 24 by 18. And you can always change the size too. So I'm going to start off with a letter size. And here you see it. And we're going to go to layout. And as you see, it's 11 by 8. And it's portrait. 300 DPI. Documents are in inches. Some people, they have it in something else and they don't realize it. Image placement will always be prefer embedded. Okay. Next is color. This is very important. The color format is going to be RGB/8. Your color profile for this, not for the printer, is going to be sRGB IEC 61966-21. Don't ever change this. And you can see it on this side too on the right. Now, if you want a transparent background, which sometimes I use this is how I can tell if a graphic I bought from Etsy or somewhere has a white background. Then I'll use transparent. Then I can see what's going on. You don't have to, you can do whatever you want. These blue lines are margins. We don't want them. So, unless you do, I don't. I always take it, uncheck include margins. I don't do anything with bleed, and I don't do anything with scale. So now we're going to create our artboard. Okay, now you see I have it as landscape. So I'm going to show you, if you do that, the way to change it is either in your layout, where you change this as 8.5 and this 11, or if you want to change it while it's on the screen, you're going to go to File, Document Setup, and just click Portrait. That's it. Also, always click Anchor to Page, not Rescale, so this is in the middle. Nothing else you do here. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my graphic. So you're going to go to File, and again you're going to go, not use Open, but you're going to use Place. And I'm going to pick a flag somewhere. Okay, let's do this one. And you see the little place mark with the arrow. You're going to press your left mouse button down while you're moving to size it. Now, you can also see all the way to your right, I'll put this in the middle, is your width and height. That's under Transform. There's Navigator and there's History. Keep it under Transform and keep this under Layers so you can see what's going on. So right now when I highlight it, you can see the width and the height. So you can change it by going like this, or you can put the numbers in like 9 by, I'm just going to play around with it, 12. And now it's 9. Well, we don't want that, I guess. Let's make it smaller. It's bigger than the favorite. But you can, like I said, you can adjust it. That's where you adjust your sizes. And there's this little thing here that locks it and unlocks it. So it stays. Keep that in the middle. Okay. Now, if you want to add text, you're going to go to this little A. There's 2 here that you can choose from: Artistic Text Tool and Frame. I'm going to pick the Artistic. I'm going to, you see this little A here, I'm going to press down and start typing. So I'm going to go use my name, and you'll see it's small, don't worry about it. Click on it. Okay. And I'm going to move it up. I'll have to wait till I get that plus sign to move it up. Now, you may not like that font. So we're going to go all the way to the top left. You'll see as this is, you double click it and it's all highlighted. And you are going to go to this drop down. This is where all your fonts are. And as you see, when I go down on each one, the font changes. So let's pick something nice. And down. I have so many. That's a nice one. Maybe I should change my name. How about Georgia? Okay, let's pick Georgia. Now, as long as it's still highlighted, you can change the size this way, or you can do that. Okay, now let's say you want to change the color. So you're going to highlight it. You're going to maybe pick one of the colors here. You're going to go to your tool picker, color picker, I'm sorry, and you see this X that's floating around. I'm going to choose that color right there. Maybe it's too dark. This color. Click this color, and that's how you get different colors, by that little plus sign. So you see, you can do that, or you can move to the right. See, and this will change your color also. But I kind of like the tool picker. Actually, I like this color. Maybe this color. All right, enough's enough with me. Blue, pink, nope. Okay, that's good. All right, we're going to go back to our arrow. That takes us out of the font. Now, some crazy stuff you can do with the font is over here. They're called Quick Fix. Quick FX. So let's say you want to bevel it. So I don't know if you can see it. See what happens to the font. You see that? This is for the opacity. I keep it up, and then this is the size, radius. You can also do an outline and choose color. And if you don't want it, just uncheck it. You can make it 3D, which is cool. And you can adjust that. Of course, I would make my color darker at this point if I'm going to do 3D. And there are various other ones. Gradient overlay, outer glow, a lot of things. If you don't like it at all, just uncheck it. And let's see what else I got checked. I kind of like the 3D. The 3D looks nice, but let's go back to normal. Okay, now we're going back to that. Those are for the fonts. There's also other things, but let's go back to our layers. And there's your two layers. I'm going to click so it's like that. If you need to add another graphic, you're to do the same thing, file and place. Let's see what I'm going to do. How about this one? It's a small one. But I'm just saying you can add graphics also. And that's just giving you an idea of what you can do. You can move these. Okay. All right, that's adding a graphic and I don't want it. I just highlight it and hit delete and it's gone. Now we're going to print it, and these are the proper settings. So you're going to go to print, right here. Okay. You've got the printer. Make sure you have the right one. Make sure you don't have two of them. Some people have two. And one has the settings, the other one doesn't. Make sure you only have one. And we have one. Copies, you adjust your copies. Paper size, there's also a drop down. If you have sizes that you want a custom size, that's where you put it in. Is manage custom. Right now we're doing letter. Entire document. And on fit type, I always use fit to printable. You see how this changes. And again, it's up to you if you want it to fit to printable or scale or shrink. I keep it to fit to printable. That's under range and scale. Now we're going to go to document layout. There's nothing there I would change. Bleed and marks, there's nothing you would do there. Layout. There's settings for your layout. I don't have anything else. So we take that off. Paper handling. Now, again, I don't do anything here with paper handling. Printer options, this is the most important thing, are your printer options. And the first thing you're going to pick is the color matching. And you will see your choice of Epson and color sync. You don't want Epson to control the colors, you want color sync. You're going to pick your Epson profile. Do not leave it on automatic. Some people do. Don't. You're going to use the drop down and use textile. I use textile for everything, including hard substrates. If you want to use this one, it'll make your colors a tad darker. Stay with this one no matter what you have. So we're going to make sure that it says color sync and textile. Okay, that's that. That's color matching. Next we have printer settings. And as you see, I have the letter and same as paper size. If you have a custom size, you're going to have to tell it what you want, and that's where you put it in. I'm not going to mess with that right now. I have a 17-inch roll. You can also do your auto sheet feeder or your sheet feeder. It will know, it'll sense it. You have to do that on the physical printer. Right now I have roll paper. Media type. Remember in the beginning we just picked textile? These two have to match. In color sync, if you have textile, you're going to have it for your media textile. You're going to have them the same. Because you're using Affinity Designer, you do not want to use any type of color adjustment. So keep it off. For your color mode, you don't want any type of adjustment because you're using Affinity. For your settings, you don't mess with this because you're using Affinity. So don't mess with it, just leave it alone. Now, your level of quality. I always use Max, and that's because I'm using a different paper. I'm using S-Race. You could use the quality, just quality, and if you're using Epson paper or something else and you don't want to put a lot of ink down, my paper dries instantly, so I don't have to worry about it. But these are my settings. Maximum quality, never use high speed, you'll get those marks on your paper, and sometimes I'll use finest detail. I myself have found that the colors are a little richer. It does put down more ink. You don't have to use it, just keep it as max quality. I use finest detail. Then you're going to hit OK, and you're going to go to advanced. Remember, you've already done the color matching, printer settings, and now we're going to go to advanced. You want a normal cut, And you want, if you're using a roll, make sure you have save roll paper set. We don't do anything with this unless you have to. I don't. Everything is 0 for the color density for black and color. 0. Some of you with different papers may have to adjust it. I don't. I just leave it as is. Hit OK. And here's your printer information. I'm going to go back down. Tells you the name of the printer, your ink levels. And normally you would hit print. If you make a change, let's say you're going to go back and change your paper, make sure you come back here to color matching and make sure that these settings are staying, because sometimes once you go out of there, it'll default, it'll change. So make sure if you go to change something, come back here, check your color settings, printer settings, make sure everything is correct because they will change. And advanced save paper roll, that cuts it automatically and you don't have this long paper roll that's just dragging around. All right, and then you're going to hit print. I'm not going to, because I've printed this 100 times, so I'm going to hit cancel, and really that should do it. These are just, again, the proper settings. So that's it, folks, and have a great day.